In this video, I'd like to explain how the procurement and production planning works in Power Central for a food manufacturing and packaging company versus a scheduling tool like Monday.com. So first I want to explain like the two different personas that we thought about. On one side, you have the planners like the procurement planner and the production planner that decide when to buy, when to produce, look at stock outages in the long run. And on the other side, you have the actual floor operations, whether it's the shipping and receiving dock operators or it is the production floor operators. So if you think from a planner's perspective, they're constantly asking, they're the ones that have to schedule the purchase orders and the production orders. They want to see when the inventory will run out. They want to be able to filter it based on customers, different production lines and different locations. And they also have to plan a lot of what if scenarios. What if a vendor does not deliver on time? Hey, what if we have to push out this production order by a couple of days? What is the impact on the rest of the VIP items or finished items? And ultimately, what is the impact on a sales delivery that we committed to? So those are the kind of questions that the planners are asking versus the people on the floor. They just want to know like a clear visibility on what am I receiving on this dock today versus the week? What am I shipping? And for the production floor operators, they're looking at like what production runs am I running for a given day based on a given line. And they just want a very clear visibility what's happening that day or that particular week. So it's just slightly different in terms of views that they're looking for. So if you look at the differences between Monday.com and our Power Central's Advanced Planner, the primary purpose of Monday.com was mainly to act as a project and task management system with boards and timelines, versus the Advanced Planner that we built into Power Central's system. It really actually helps the procurement and production planners create the purchase orders, create the production orders, and actually see the inventory outages in real time. The second thing is that Monday.com, the data it doesn't understand ERP data, whether it is multi-level bill of materials, inventory in the systems, order in the systems. It does not natively connect to an ERP. So all the dependencies have to be defined as tasks and everything has to be manually entered. And if a particular production order's date changes or a receiving date changes, all of those dates, if you change them on the ERP, don't automatically propagate to Monday.com. You have to manually enter them. Whereas our advanced planners works very tightly with the ERP and it automatically understands the bill of materials and the relationship between the purchase orders and the production orders that these raw materials are going into. So it uses the live inventory that is coming directly out of the ERP and it's always connected to the ERP. And note that the advanced planner that we have has no additional fee. It's part of the Power Central standard licenses. The other thing is that now that your building 5 already has the raw material, you don't have to wait until the entire system goes live. You can actually start scheduling VIP items in building 5 and building 1 right from this particular week. So here's a snapshot of how our scheduler works. For example, on the top pane, what you see is all the sales orders that are coming in to the system and when they are due. Then what you have over here in the second pane is all the production orders that have been scheduled, whether it is the VIP item production or the finished item productions. And it even shows the sub-assemblies and the dependencies. And whenever you see everything is color-coded red or green, and you can actually see if something is color-coded and red, exactly why is it that we cannot produce this particular production order. So we cannot produce this production order because it actually shows you a timeline of the stock levels at the bottom, in terms of like what exact raw material or VIP item we're actually missing to make that particular production order. And it also shows all the purchase orders that are going to land in our company. So it exactly shows like which raw material is landing, and the inventory is automatically calculated based on the raw materials coming in through the purchase orders, whether they're being consumed by the production orders or the sales orders. So the inventory is always up to date, and this is dynamically connected to the ERP at all times. The other thing is that we have dynamic filters on the left side. So the planners can very quickly filter through different locations, filter through different resource group, which are your production lines. You can filter out specific customers, specific sales orders or forecasts. So all these filters are built into the planner. So it's meant to really work out of the box for any company that is doing food manufacturing or packaging. Now, From the actual floor operations point of view, this is where I would say Monday.com is pretty good at showing like a floor operator, whether it is the receiving or shipping guy or the production guy, what needs to get done that day. But in order for that to happen, obviously all these tasks and dependencies have to be manually entered into Monday.com. It doesn't natively directly connect into the ERP and pull that data. And because of this, like again, we built reporting coming out of directly either Business Central or we built Power BI reporting so that the data doesn't have to be again entered into another system. The reports pull data directly out of the ERP. And for example, here's a receiving dock schedule that the receiving dock can see. They can basically select the different receiving dates. They can search for which items are receiving what time. They can look for the PO number. So they have idea about how many trucks are landing today and what items are being received over here and how much is being received over here at all times. And this is a pretty dynamic report. And very similarly, we also have a production schedule where you can select a given week and you're able to select which lines you want to show depending upon which building you are, and it actually shows which production orders are scheduled for that particular day for that particular line. So essentially, with Power Central, Advanced Planner, and the reports that are coming out directly out of the ERP in Business Central or Power BI, you don't need a Monday.com to either plan the stuff or actually let the floor operators know what needs to get done at a specific day.